We're going to turn our attention to Russia now. Their war in Ukraine has been going on now for a year and a half. Russian President Vladimir Putin is not showing any signs of letting up after a suspicious plane crash and the death of Wagner military boss Ukrainian Prigozhin. Putin is making it clear that he will not tolerate dissent. Kateryna Stepanenko is from Ukraine, has also been following this war. She is the Russia deputy team lead for the Institute of War. And we welcome you into the desk this morning. I want to start with the Institute so people understand exactly where you work and the work you do. The Institute of War sounds like a scary title for a place to work, but what is it you are looking at, and what do you learn from studying war?
Thank you so much for this kind invitation. So the Institute for the Study of War is an OSINT organization, so open source intelligence, where we do research on Russian invasion of Ukraine. So we've done this way before the full-scale invasion, but also focusing on producing maps. We produce daily campaign assessments of how Russian invasion is going and how Ukraine is fighting to liberate its territories.
We've been watching on the news the developments week to week, but you're in touch with the people of Ukraine. How have they been able to hold together and stay as united as they have been for over a year and a half now? Because they have put up with so much unrelenting interruptions in their lives from these attacks that keep coming from Russia.
I think people just know that they're fighting for their freedom. They're fighting for their values. They're fighting for their ability to speak their language. They're fighting for their ability to have children go to Ukrainian schools, practice culture, and that's an inherently unifying factor. I think Ukraine is a lot more united just because of the way that Russia is acting towards Ukrainians, and that is a big in in that unity.
All right, let's talk about Vladimir Putin, because obviously, you know, Putin had his designs on Ukraine for some time. Prior to that, with Crimea as well, he finally launched this attack a year and a half ago, you know, in the winter of 2021. When Vladimir Putin has gone now, and there are large suspicions about having him taken out, one of his primary threats in Prigozhin, what does that say to the Ukrainian people? Because Prigozhin had been leading the attacks on Ukraine. What is the Ukrainian viewpoint of what happened with these two?
Of course. I mean, Prigozhin's death was quite literally a joke to a lot of Ukrainians. You know, it's that revenge that people were waiting for, you know, to take place. Of course, we wanted to see Prigozhin, you know, behind bars, tried under international law. However, you know, the death of Prigozhin and inherently the Wagner group in his face was super important for Ukrainian fighters. Ukrainian fighters often said that Wagner forces were the most combat effective and the most relentless in their attacks.
So is Prigozhin's death to the Ukrainians in some way good news for the Ukrainian effort? Because if the Wagner forces are in some sort of disarray and they had been one of the primary lead attackers of Ukraine, does that benefit the Ukrainians now as they try to defend their home country?
Of course, yes. Wagner forces conducted these relentless human assaults where they just threw forces regardless of what would happen to them, and Ukrainian forces had to constantly repel these attacks. We've seen a lot of reports from the front lines where Ukrainian forces indicate that the fighting had gotten a little bit easier in some areas in Bakhmut, just simply because of Wagner forces withdrawing.
One of the things that we've seen of late, though, is that Ukraine is not just sitting back and defending itself, it is actually launching offensive operations in Russia as well. We've seen these drone attacks over the last couple of months. What does that represent to you as far as Ukraine's ability to now not only defend itself, but also be offensive in this war in the face of these attacks?
Well, first and foremost, it exposes weaknesses of Russian air defense systems. it shows that Russia is vulnerable inside as well as on the front lines. The resources that they otherwise would have used in Ukrainian front lines, they now have to commit and use inside of Russia. And it also brings war closer to Russians themselves.
And your family, you've been in touch with them? Are they doing okay?
Yes, they are.
All right. Kateryna Stepanenko, we appreciate you coming in to talk about the Ukrainian viewpoint of the developments in the war in Ukraine right now. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you back sometime.